It's Penny and the professor. Here's Penny.
Hi kindergartners, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that version of the Three Little Pigs, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But I think Penny has a question, so let me see what her question is. Penny, what's your question? Oh yeah, good one. Okay, that's a good one. I think we should check in with them. So Penny wants to know what kind of questions are Fluffy and Cassie going to ask in Module 2, because you know, Ellie came back with a bigger question, right? So does Fluffy have a medium-sized question to ask? Well, let's check in. So if you are just tuning in for the first time in your whole life of a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, maybe a 7-year-old even, maybe you know that elephants are big, right? And Ellie is big, so she asks the big essential questions. And our big questions are questions that take the longest to answer because they're a big question. And under that big essential question, we have focusing questions. And the focusing questions help us focus on a set of lessons, usually 5 or 6 lessons, and we learn about something for about 2 weeks, and we answer the focusing question with a focus question task. Well, Fluffy, the puppy, is our medium-sized question dog, and she asks the medium-sized questions, like the focusing questions. So Fluffy, what kind of question do you have for us today? Oh, that's a good one. So Fluffy wants to know what is true about real farm animals. So we're going to be learning about cartoon farm animals and real true farm animals, like ones that live on a real farm. And Fluffy's just thinking, what is true about those real farm animals? What could we share with the class that would help us? What could we read? How could we find evidence to help us know what is true about real farm animals? Thank you, Fluffy. Say hi. So there's some new kids in our class. Hello, this is Fluffy. So Fluffy and Ellie are good friends, and Penny and everybody. We all hang together. And then we have a smaller question. So we have the essential question from Ellie the elephant. We have a focusing question, which is a medium-sized question from Fluffy. And then Cassie asks the content framing question, and Cassie is our ladybug, and ladybugs are smaller. Now our ladybug's kind of big for a ladybug, but she looks really cute. So Cassie is asking the smaller question, and it's usually answered in one lesson. So one of our lessons usually takes about 4 parts or 2 days. Sometimes it only takes 1 day, but you know, just depends on how fast we're moving. So Cassie is asking this question for this lesson. She wants to know, what do I notice and wonder about the 3 little pigs? And you'll notice that Cassie's questions are always very similar. She asks, what do I notice and wonder first? And then she'll ask, what's happening? What does a deeper exploration of our text reveal? So we'll have very similar questions from Cassie, but about different texts that will help us answer Fluffy's question in the focus question, and then eventually all of our focus question answers will help us answer Ellie's big question, the essential question. So you guys all got that? Perfect. Cassie wants to know, what do I notice and wonder in the 3 little pigs? And I'm wondering that too. So is this the only time you've ever heard the story of the 3 little pigs, or have you heard it before? Some of us have heard it before, but we haven't maybe heard the same exact version of the story. So what happens when there's a story like the 3 little pigs is that lots of authors retell the story in different ways throughout time. And so what's happening here is we are looking at the version of the 3 little pigs that was illustrated by Thea Claros, and it doesn't say who the author is that retold it. So we have some questions there, and we need to think, what do we notice about this version of the 3 little pigs, and what do we wonder? What happens to the wolf at the end of this version? Because sometimes in other versions of the story, it's not the same ending. So let's look at the ending again and just double check. It looks like what happens is the wolf tries to come down the chimney and burns his bottom. They make a fire, and he runs away yelping with his tail's kind of on a little bit of steam coming up, but I think he burned himself. It says he was badly scorched, so he got a little bit of fire on him. That sounds really, really painful. So, and then he ran away, right? That's what happened to the wolf at the end of this version of the story. What else did you notice and wonder in this version that we just read? So even if you've seen another version, or you've heard another version, or you've seen a cartoon that's different than this, just talk about this one. Look through your book, look through the pictures, remember the story that you just heard in the video, and think about, what do I notice and what do I wonder? And this is the week where we start discussing things with our peers. Our peers are our friends in our classroom. So when you load your video of what you notice and or wonder about the 3 pigs, I want you to also watch for other friends to post their thoughts. Go back to the discussion, listen to what they say, and then respond to them like we've practiced. So, for example, if Penny says, let me ask her what she said. Penny says, I noticed the wolf's tail was scorched and he ran away. I could say, wow, I noticed that too. And I noticed that the pigs were happy and they looked like they were going to have a party now that the wolf was gone. So I'm responding to what she said. I noticed that too, or I saw that also. Or I could even say to her, wow, that's really cool. Can you show me in the book where you saw that? Because maybe I missed it. So you could use, can you show me some text evidence about that, and have a discussion. You're only required to go back and answer to one, respond to one person in the discussion, but if you have time, go back and look a couple of times and see if you can have a conversation with some people in the discussion. All right, we're gonna have 2 discussions this week, so we'll see if we can get some discussions going on both of those threads, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now from me and Penny, and can't wait to see what you notice and wonder about the 3 little pigs. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.